Good evening, friends. Let me wish you happiness and peace for this evening. And there would be one or two friends who join with us from different part of the world. So we wish them good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and may the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you all. We are going to begin this evening Sutta study class for understanding the Dharma and exploring the Dhamma for our benefits, to strengthen our mind on noble virtues. So let me worship the Buddha with so much venerations. Here I'm reciting Namo Tassa 3 times, and you may join with me to pay our due respect to the Supreme Buddha to start the Sutta study class. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We pay our homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So the sutta we discussed today is called Danta Bhumi Sutta. This is translated as the discourse on the taming grounds. Danta means taming, Bhumi means ground, and this sutta is talking about taming our mind through the right training. This sutta is recorded in Majjhima Nikaya, and the number is 125. Since I emailed you the about the sutta this I think couple of hours ago, I hope you didn't read the discourse there, but you can go through it later and understand the sutta in details. Anyhow, I try my best to give you the highlights of the sutta first, and then read important part of the sutta next for understanding the message of the sutta, message of the Dhamma in the sutta. As you know, every suttas, the Buddha or the great disciples wanted us to understand the deep Dhamma. They may be explaining the path to Nirvana, or they may be explaining what obstruct for us to go on the path to Nirvana. They may be explaining various aspects of the Dharma for disciples to practice. In that we found real examples of some disciples when they practiced them, how struggle they were, how struggle they were in the Dharma, and some disciples were doing exactly as it is in the Dharma, so that they were quickly got into Nirvana. So we have so many information from sutta reading, and this information could be used for our benefits. That's why sutta reading is very important. The Dharma is categorized into many aspects. One categorization is Navanga Sattu Sasana. It means the Buddha's teaching has been categorized into Sutta, Geya, Vaiyakarana, Jataka, Itiuttaka, Gata, Abhuta Dhamma, Vedalla, and so on. So in this category, Sutta is mentioned. So if you want to study the Buddha's teaching for developing every aspect of Dharma, whether you are a monk or a nun or a lay, male and female disciples, you all need to go on the each aspect of the Dhamma, such as Sutta, Gatha, and then exclamation, birth stories, and so on. So this Sutta reading is therefore very important because a lot of Dhamma elements come out when you read the Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, and Kuddaka Nikaya, the main section of the Sutta Pitaka. So here, this sutta is also important because with some similes, it tells us how one can start the training from the very beginning and progress towards the final emancipation. So friends, Tantabhumi Sutta start with a discussion between a monk called Achiravata and also a prince called Jayasena. So then we see they were having some Dhamma discussion, and at the end of the discussion they were unhappy, and the young novice monk Achiravata went to the Buddha and reported every information about the discussion between himself and Prince Jayasena. Then Buddha delivered the Dharma in a beautiful way with similes, and at the end of the discourse you see how one can practice the Dhamma in a gradual way and understand the Dharma to the highest. So this sutta is so important for us to know once again the path to Nirvana. I think I assume that you didn't have enough time to read, so that I might read some passages of the sutta for you to get the idea of what kind of sutta is this. Venerable Ananda says that thus I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was residing in the squirrel feeding ground in the bamboo grove outside Rajagaha. Today, this city is called Rajgir. Still, that bamboo grove, the monastery is there. So, a lot of squirrels were living. That's why that place is called Squirrel Sanctuary. So the Buddha was residing there when this thing happened. Now at that time, the novice Achiravata was living in a forest, in a cell, in a kuti, in a small room nearby. Then Prince Jayasena, while walking about on a stroll, approached the novice Achiravata and exchanged greeting with him. So one of the habits of Prince Jayasena is to walk for leisure. And on this day, when Venerable Novice Achiravata was living in that small room in the nearby forest, he encountered this Venerable Novice in the middle of his walking. Then they exchanged greetings, and Prince Jayasena, having sat down to one side of novice Achiravata, asked this question. This is a very important question. This I have heard. Master, this is what I heard. A monk who who is diligent, ardent, and resolute would achieve one-pointedness of mind. So I have heard from many people that if a monk is mindful, ardent, very diligent, he can achieve one-pointedness of mind, ekaggata. So simply, Prince Jayasen asked if we practice Dhamma, we could be able to gain that clarity of mind. It's called one-pointedness. Our mind now is busy. It is scattered everywhere. But if one is striving so hard and being mindful about always, so that monk, that person can bring the mind into a particular peaceful state of mind. So Prince Jayasena asked this question. Let me tell you who is Prince Jayasena. Actually, he is a son of King Bimbisar. So you know that Bimbisara is the greatest king and a friend of the Buddha, and Jayasena is a prince of is a son of King Bimbisara. So perhaps he heard these things from the family, royal family, from people, from monks, because when Rajgir is a huge place for Buddha and monks and other cities in his country, he would definitely heard about this. So, novice Achiravarta, when we say novice Achiravarta, it means that he ordained very recently. We can assume that he doesn't know many Dhamma as a senior monk. But anyway, what he said, that is so. I know that, friend. I know that, friends. That is right. So if a monk is mindful, diligent, exertive, resolute, he could achieve one-pointedness of mind. Then uh, Prince Jayasena requested to deliver some Dhamma for his benefit. It would be good, Master, Master, if you were to teach me the Dharma as you have heard it and as you have mastered it. Please explain me that Dharma as you mastered, as you heard, as you mastered. Then this novice monk tell frankly that I am unable to teach you the Dharma as I have heard, as I have mastered, because you may not be you may not be able to understand the Dharma as I heard, as I have mastered, because Dharma is very deep, and I also became a monk very recently, and maybe that I do not know how to teach. So only thing I would get at the end is weariness, tiredness. But Prince Jayasena insisted novice monk Achiravata to teach them as he have already heard and also as he has already mastered. So that conversation is done when Venerable Achiravata accepted the invitation, and it is said in the discourse that that Achiravata said that, okay, I will teach you Dhamma as I have heard, as I have mastered it. But if you do not understand my explanation, don't question me, because it hinted that I do not know. Then Prince Jayasen agreed, and we see that Venerable Achiravata taught the Dhamma to Prince Jayasen as he has heard, as he has mastered. But Prince Jayasena was not happy. Prince Jayasena immediately after the Dhamma sermon said that that is impossible, Master. There is no way it can be, where a monk who dwells diligent, ardent, resolute would achieve oneness of mind. So Prince Jayasena said that I think it is impossible. It cannot be done. You said that, and I said that that whether a monk can bring that mind one-pointedness of mind by practicing Dharma ardently, mindfully, and so on. But when I heard your Dharma sermon, I think it is impossible. Nobody can achieve that Dharma. Then. Venerable Achiravata, after Prince Jayasena left, Venerable Achiravata went to the Buddha with some thoughts in mind and reported everything to the Supreme Buddha. He explained the Buddha A to Z of that conversation. Then the Buddha's explanation is brilliant, and the Buddha said that when this was said, the Buddha said to this to the novice Achiravata, how is it ever possible here, Achiravata, with that which should be known through renunciation, should be known through, should be seen through renunciation, should be attained through renunciation, should be realized through renunciation. So the Buddha clearly said that, Bhikkhu Achiravata, novice monk Achiravata, how could Prince Jayasena understand Dharma as long as he indulge in sensual pleasures? As long as he is in deep sense of sensual pleasure. It is said that if anyone enjoys sensual pleasures very much, their mind is blocked by ignorance, their mind is full of ignorance, their mind is full of craving. These people may not be able to understand the Dharma. This is how he said, Nekkammena Natabbang, Nekkammena Natabbang. The Dharma should be known through renunciation. It should be seen through renunciation. It should be attained through renunciation. It should be realized through renunciation. So, when somebody is always in sensual pleasure, Dhamma is not manifested for these people. Like in the sutta, Prince Jayasena is unable to do that because he is in full of sensual pleasures. He lives a very mundane life. Therefore, the ignorance is the thing that cover the mind. But if somebody wants to understand the Dharma, they have to open up their mind and practice renunciation. It is said, should be known through renunciation, should be seen through renunciation, should be attained through renunciation, should be realized through renunciation. The Buddha used a couple of words: known, seen, attained, realized. These words mean a lot. So if you want to know the Dharma, real Dharma, the Magga, the path to Nirvana, you have to come to a level where there is no sensual pleasures. This made you a question, perhaps, because you are a lay person, and you might question, how can we get out of these sensual pleasures being a lay person? Friends, being a lay person is not a barrier for coming out of sensual pleasures. You're at home and you make the environment possible and probable for practicing Dhamma. You can, Dhamma practice is totally mind-made and mental thing, so that you listen to the Dharma, you understand the gist of the Dharma, so that now you slowly train your mind to be away from, lust provocative, greed provocative actions, behaviors. So I have seen some lay people who are very intelligent in avoiding sensual pleasures. Sensual pleasure means the strong negative craving that arise through seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and smelling, touching, tasting, and thinking. So the sensual pleasure arises when we use our senses unmindfully. So the craving arises, the passion arises, and it is because of ignorance we have in our mind. But if you have right thinking based on Dharma, you hear with wisdom, you sense, you cognize, and you use wisdom for checking all the sensory experiences into a great extent. So there you have that essence called receiving Dhamma very well. Yeah, some people listen to the Dharma too many times, but they do not absorb any Dhamma because of the level of sensual pleasures in mind. When sensual pleasure arises in mind strongly, ignorance exists there, and all kinds of unwholesomeness, or at least the seed of all kind of unwholesomeness exist there. So the Buddha tell novice Achirvata, how could that happen for Prince Jayasena? Because he is in always sensual pleasures. He thirst for it. As a prince, he enjoy his life, indulge with sensual pleasures. Therefore, the dharma that should be known through renunciation, that should be seen through renunciation, that should be that should be attained through renunciation, that should be realized through renunciation, could not happen to people like Prince Jasin. It is a very good message, I believe. What is the word of renunciation? What does that mean? Nekkhamma. It means, friends, the total opposite of sensual pleasure. When we have sensual pleasure, we attach to what we hear, what we seen, what we see, what we sense, what we smell, and so on. Renunciation means you do you go away from attachment on seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and thinking. So that is, you see this word when we talk about the nature of monks and lay people. So to be a monk, to be a bhikkhuni, you should renunciate the household life, which means at the time you become a monk or a nun, you you stop doing all kinds of lay behaviors. So that is called leaving everything out. So renunciation should happen physically as well as mentally. We see people have physically renunciated but not mentally. That's why they may not be able to gain that satisfaction in their monastic life. But this means that renunciation in every means. You see, when Prince Siddhartha Gautama at the age of 29 renounced the world, from the very minute he renounced the world, he did not entertain his mind on anything he did before. Physically he was changed, and mentally he was able to transform his mind from a household matters to a monastic situation. So that is called renunciation. So there are more other information if you read the sutta, that this would ever be known, seeing, attained, realized by Prince Jasin. It could not be happening. Who lives enjoying sensual pleasures, being consumed with sensual thoughts, burning with the fever of sensual pleasures, being caught up with seeking sensual pleasure. This is impossible. So now we see the parable of the two tameable animals. I'm going to read this for you so that you understand why this parable is in the sutta at this place. Buddha said, suppose there were two tameable elephants, tameable horses, and tameable oxen that were well tamed and well disciplined, and two tameable elephant, tameable horses, tameable oxen that were untamed and disciplined. See, here we talk about two elephants who have already tamed and disciplined, and we talk about two elephants who have not tamed and disciplined, and we talk about two horses who have already get that training and they are tamed, and the two horses who do not get that training, and so then we have two oxen, two buffaloes. So what do you think, Achiravata? Would the two tameable elephant or tameable horses, tameable oxen that would well tame and well disciplined, being tamed, assume the nature of tame? Would they attain to the level of the tame? So if I read the whole parable as the way Sutta says, you may be missing the point. So that let me simplify it. So Buddha talks about two elephants, two horses, two oxen who were tamed and disciplined. And Buddha talks about two elephants, two horses, two oxen who were not, tame and disciplined. So Buddha asked next, what do you think, Acharavata, who is now, if I want to use them for any matter, who can be useful? Who can be, which animals can be used for something useful? Of course, the answer is very clear. You can use only those tamed elephants, horses, and oxen for any matter, like dragging wood and tying them into bullock carts and using horses to go far away places. So you can use them because they are tame and disciplined. But those animals who are not tame and disciplined yet could not be used for any matter. Likewise, Achiravata, people who experience sensual pleasures with intention or without intention, people who are still in passion, people who wish, craving for enjoyment, they may not be able to understand Dharma. This is a very good message in my view, because a lot of people think that they could get the Dharma just because they read, just because they listen to some talks, but they were not caring about their behavior. In the later part of the sutta, Buddha talks about first discipline. Sila, moral principles should be primary important for practicing dharma to the highest level. Without sila, you may not be able to even get some sort of dharma in an initial level. So even sila is a dharma, but without sila, geared by wisdom, you may not be able to understand basic dharma as well. So this is a very good message. Therefore, so Buddha wanted to repeat that if you enjoy sensual pleasures, if you indulge in sensual pleasures, like Prince Jayasena, how could you understand Dharma? It happens when you renunciate, when you let go of your strong attachment. At least you should be away from strong attachment. People attach to many things: houses, children, spouses, jobs, their achievements, their village, country, their language, religion. So people have attachment to views, people have attachment to rituals, people have attachment to self, people have attachment to various other things. So with strong attachment, the progress of the Dhamma is not taking place, because you have attached, you have blocked your mind from ignorance and craving and greedy mind. So in order to get through, you would be able to consider how strong my mind with attachment. Is my mind free from attachment or not? So that question should be asked. So the Buddha continues. The next parable the Buddha gives for the clarity is the parable of the hill view. Suppose, Achiravata, there were a great hill not far from a village, and two friends go to that village where the hill is located, and now on reaching there, one of the friends uh, you know uh, one of the friends remain down the foothill, down the hill, and the other one got up to the hilltop, and having got into the hilltop, he could see everything around the hill, both side. But the one who is under the hill cannot see much because everything is blocked by the mountain. He is not in a higher place. He is in the foot of the hill, so that he cannot see like the other person on the top of the hill. So then the one who is on the top of the hill asks this second friend to climb up, and when he reached there, he can see. Before that, he did not see the nearby mountains, the waterfalls, the reservoirs, and trees and houses, roads over there. So he says so many things. Before that, when the friends on the top mountain top says there are beautiful places, you would see the person who is under near the foothill never saw it. So this simile is given to tell Venerable Acharyavata that the person like Prince Jayasena is quite similar to the one who was near the foot of the hill. He doesn't see anything. But the one who sees everything is likened to someone who has renunciated belongings. Someone who has given up so many belongings is likened to the someone on the mountain top. So because the one who has let go of many things can concentrate well, and that's the first step of reaching to one pointedness of the mind. Friends, I without delaying too much of saying this, I should say this. Some people come to meditation for the sake of reaching one pointedness without practicing renunciation. So generosity is one part of practicing renunciation, because we have attached to so many things. If we check this from our genuine practices, we can see that how about if I give something that I like very much to somebody, what kind of feeling you will experience then? So you can, even before you give a real giving, you can think that if I give this to somebody, what could happen to me? So likewise, the sense of giving should be there always, even though you do not give everything. I think you cannot give everything you have, but that sense of renunciation should be developed in your mind. Why do we develop this in mind? Because we know that everything is impermanent. At some point of our life, we have to leave everything apart, leave everything aside, so that what is the purpose of attachment to so many things around? So that way you come to a conclusion that I should slowly practice renunciation. Being a layperson, you can do this. No matter how many items you have in house, you say that I do not collect anything anymore. But the things I have, it doesn't matter for me to uh, give away. Something like that. That could be practiced at the very beginning. So then, it's a long story in short. In the sutta, you have the long, parable, but simply it says that two people are there, and one goes to the top of the hill, and the other one stays down. And the one who is on the top of the hill can see parks and beautiful places in the area, but the one who is down the hill never saw anything. So this parable is the second parable of the discourse, to tell that people like Prince Jayasen, who are in sensual pleasures always, are likened to the one down the hill, because they have ignorance in their mind, they have craving in their mind, they always think about how they satisfy their mind with sensual pleasures, so that their knowledge, their dharma experience is not that very much. But the one who is on the mountain top is like someone who has renunciated, so that they can see many things. So now we go to the third parable of it is called elephant training. So simply, if you want to tame a elephant to the level, to the highest level, there is a method. Suppose you have two elephants. You go to a forest where elephants, untamed elephants live, with a tame elephant. You go there without. If you go alone with you may not be able to tame. But if you go on an elephant which is tame, one or two, it's easier, because elephants who are already tame and disciplined can help the person to catch those untamed elephants. Somehow, so you manage to catch a very giant, huge elephant, let's say a tusker. So now, with the help of tame elephant, you catch the elephant and tied this elephant to a very strong post, so that the untamed elephant may not be able to move. Now, the king, according to the parable, the king needs this untamed elephants to be tamed by the skillful elephant trainer. So it is in the simile, it is given that step by step, slowly, the untamed elephant is tamed by that elephant trainer. Uh, you know, in the first day, you see that the elephant trainer teaches the elephant to sit and turn and listen and so many things. So gradually, this untamed elephant is disciplined into the highest. So in the parable, we see a very interesting thing. If the elephant is taken to the royal elephant category, that elephant should have lot of training, and one last training test is something like this. So the elephant is now tame into a certain extent. Now the effort is to tame and discipline him to the highest level. Then only this elephant is taken the royal elephant that is used by the king. So this elephant, one person with a huge iron arrow-like things got into the neck of the elephant, and then huge wood, let's say 10 feet long, huge wood put on the elephant's back, and now elephant is attacked by people around with wood, and then a group of people beat drums and make lot of noises around. So the idea is the elephant trainer is telling the elephant, do not do not disturb by any of these hitting and throwing and sounds and so many other things around. So the elephant, since since the training is going well so far, determined to be silent on any matter, even he was targeted by the wood and throw stones and anything like that. So if the elephant is able to discipline and tame to that extent, then this elephant is called royal elephant, Mangala Hasti, the auspicious, the king of the elephant for the king. So having said this simile, Buddha said the very clear Dhamma there. Likewise, now while he is performing the task called the imperturbable. So the very word we use there in the sutta is imperturbable. So that's mean aninja. You are not shaken by any sounds. You are not shaken by anything. So being free of all wiles and faults, purified and any deficiency, is worthy of the king in the king's service, and so on. That is about the elephant. Now the Buddha come to Achiravata, now is Achiravata with the Dharma, with the similes. Here, there arises in the world the Tathagata, the Buddha, who is Arahant, fully self-awakened, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, well gone, world knower of the worlds, unexcelled trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of gods and human, awakened and blessed. You know this statement. It is itiviso, the meaning of the itiviso sansa. So now this the Tathagata arises in the world. Tathagata has already arisen in the world, and his qualities are like this. Then, having realized that the Tathagata is born to this world, having heard or realized a gentleman or just say a particular person listen to the Dharma from the Tathagata or disciples of the Tathagata. Having listened to the Dharma, here Dharma is also defined in a beautiful way. He teaches this Tathagata, the Buddha teaches the Dharma, good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end. That sort of Dhamma the Buddha taught us, friends. We say Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the well said by the Tathagata. Dharma that is well said by the Tathagata, the Dharma which is visible here and now. These are the qualities of the Dharma. So this Dharma that the Buddha taught, every word has a meaning. Every word lead us to peace and happiness. So that's why the beginning of the, if you start a sermon of the, you see whatever the Buddha said at the beginning, in the middle, in the end, they are all worthy. Everything is directed to a meaning. That's why the Dharma has these qualities. So such Buddha, such Tathagata teaches the Dharma, and then a householder, this term is used for denoting a particular person like us. So now this person listen to that Dharma and gain faith about the Tathagata. So once you listen to a sermon of the Buddha, if you are a wise person, you gain that confidence on the Buddha that he teaches the very practical, logical Dharma. Friends, the Dharma Buddha taught is logical. The Dharma Buddha taught is, taking us to a, worry-free, suffering-free state of mind. When I use the word logical, I mean it is rational. That is what we call akaravati. You can see reasons why this happened, why this should be done. By doing this, what we can get, such connection you see. So that's why this particular person listen to the Dharma and gain faith about the Buddha. Having gained faith, I use this very unprofessional word for Shraddha, because some people understand Shraddha with that, but with that word, but the Buddhism never taught faith. Faith is a very loose translation for Shraddha. It could be confidence on the Dharma. So you see the reasons and facts and everything, and you experience it so that you confirm yourself that this is true. That's called Shraddha. So having gained that Shraddha on the Buddha, he at some point decides to decide this. According to the Dharma the Buddha taught, I may not be able to practice it at home because home life is full of duties and responsibilities. Okay? Home life is full of suffering because of the ongoing, never-ending duties, responsibilities, so that I should become ordained disciples under the Buddha, so that I can practice this Dharma that is excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, excellent in the end, and achieve the supreme goal as the Buddha said. So this person is doing this because of the Shraddha on the Buddha. First, you have Shraddha on the Buddha. You have to see whether the Buddha is fully enlightened, whether the Buddha is genuine, whether the Buddha has realized the Dhamma. So that sort of exploration should be done by all of us. Then only we practice the Dharma. Because if in today's world we have the Dharma to see the Buddha, both ways it should be confirmed. So we read the Dharma, we listen to the Dharma. In that Dharma, we should be able to see the logical reasoning, rational. Then we see the Buddha. Those days, the same thing happened in front of the Buddha. They listen to the Buddha, and what wise people always realize that, okay, what he's saying is right. Sometimes those people who realize the Dharma from the Buddha's sermon were not disciples of the Buddha. They belong to other sectors where Buddhism is rejected, Buddha is rejected. But due to their wisdom in mind, due to their ability to understand things in a proper way, they got the message from the Buddha. From there, they develop that confidence about the Buddha, about the Dharma. So many of them enter into the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni order. Some people stay in lay life because they have other things to still consider. Anyway, so in this sutta, Buddha is telling Venerable novice Achiravata that once the Tathagata appears in the world, this is what is happening. He tells the Dhamma to the world, and people who listen to the Dharma, now this is what they are doing. Now they have Shraddha, they enter into the order, having abandoned all kinds of belongings, having abandoned all kinds of properties, having abandoned everything, they come to the order of Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis. So in this case, this particular person did the same thing. And now we see in the sutta that the Buddha is talking to novice Achiravata about the basic training. Since it is 8:45, I would give you a summarized version of the sutta. So now Buddha is taming that monk, his mind, with the moral principle. So at any point you come to the order of Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni, or as a layperson, you are given to practice certain training principle that they are all belongs to Sila section. So we see that the Buddha is talking about Tathagata is taming this particular bhikkhu or bhikkhuni with moral virtues. So Patimokha Sila, that's mean we have training principles. It is more than 200 30 if you are a high ordained monk, but as a novice monk you have less. So anyhow, you would be able to follow all these principles. Why do we need training principle like this? Friends, Sila precepts are to take us from wrongdoings. Sila precepts are promulgated by the Buddha for us to be away from craving, ignorance, and that sort of practices. Because when we do when we engage with sensual pleasures, you are going to be in ignorance. So 5 precepts is there, and then if you look at the 8 precepts, 8 lifetime precepts, your level of sila is upgraded, because with Panchasila you are in sensual pleasures, but when you go to the 8 precepts or 8 lifetime precepts, you stop enjoying music and garlands and dancing, because these activities in the society are taking you to more sensual places. So your attachment would be strong to those things when you engage, so that at least a day or on the full moon day, you become away from those practices, so that your mind inclines to renunciation. Then you are taught to be away from using luxurious things, because when we use luxurious things, we entertain our life, we enjoy. At some point of your life, you let go of even luxurious bedding, seating, rooms, clothes, and ornaments and things like that. So you try your best to live in a simple way, which there you have that chance of taking your mind to renunciation. So Sila precepts for lay people and also for monks has a meaning always. So when you practice Sila, your mind easily get into Samadhi experience, because you have let go of certain things. So the Buddha is talking about here the importance of practicing Patimokka Sangvara Sila, particular monastic training rules, and that particular monk who enters into the order recently out of confidence on the Buddha is trained now to practice those Sila precepts. And if you read this sutta, there are many aspects of it. And now, having trained yourself in moral, ethical principles, now you are going to do another thing within the moral principle, that is called Indriya Sangvara, restraint on six senses. So the Buddha is talking about certain ways of restraining eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind from various, sense of greed, hatred, and ignorance, because these are the doors that good things as well as bad things come. So we should be able to penetrate all these information through senses and get only good things, and bad things should be avoided. So that is called Indriya Sangvara, guarding the sense doors. That is also a huge practice in the training. And the newly ordained monk is taken to that conclusion that the Buddha taught Indriya Sangvara. So then we see when the now he's called noble disciple, because he has let go of household life, vowed to take the training principles as a monk or a nun. Now he is practicing basic principle. Therefore, his level of morality is higher than the average people, so that this person is called noble person. In other words, he has entered into the Noble Eightfold Path as the path to liberation. So this noble disciple is guarded in sense doors. The Tathagata leads him further in this training. So what would be the Tathagata say to this particular monk now? Be moderate in food. Basically, one of the areas that we develop sensual pleasure is food. If you are able to minimize the desire for food, I think you cut off a huge part of ignorance, craving, attachment, and so forth. So people in many places in the world, people struggle for food. People do live for food. People, with the word food, it does mean here only audible arms food, but that word ahara is used for 4 kinds of ahara. So basically here the bhikkhu should be able to tame his mind on consumption of material food. So I use this food for hunger. I use this food for living according to the dharma. I need to do this thing in the dharma, so that I use this food for this purposes, so that I do not have any purpose of decorating my life with making my life stronger and so on. So he clearly knows what what is the purpose of food. That should be trained. That should be practiced. So that is what the Buddha taught him next. Then the Buddha talks about not sleeping during the daytime and not sleeping any other time, just practice dharma, but there is a particular couple of hours you should sleep well. But due to laziness, monks may be sleeping after eating, after going on Pindapata. But the monk who is striving to attain nirvana soon should be awake and practice dharma. So that is called Jagriyanu Yoga. It's a particular practice. So at night you have a couple of hours to rest fully, but other times you are practicing dharma as much as you could. So that is another training the monk can get. And after this we see, of course I need to say this, that monks have to practice dharma in 4 postures. If you feel sleepy in sitting posture, you can walk, you can stand up, you can do other things that should be done, so that the sleepiness should be overcome by each postures. Every means that is a blessings for your monastic life. So after this we see the Buddha is talking about the importance of practicing sati sampajanya. It is clear comprehension. It include mindfulness and wisdom together in every activity. So let's see that let's say this that we have a lot of activities. We do walking, standing, sitting, talking, being silent. We eat, drink, and we watch movies, TVs, news channels, and so on. We do a lot of activities. We drive, we sleep, we go to the bathroom and do personal things. So we do a lot of things. And being mindful and wise about those activities is called clear comprehension along with mindfulness. And that should be practiced the monk over there when he goes on Pindapata, when he talks to the teacher, when he talks to the fellow monks, and when he stays silent. So every time he should be able to know what exactly he or she does. That's called clear comprehension. Not only just mere knowing, but it's knowing with wisdom, knowing with some sort of wisdom. So that's called clear comprehension. And the monk is asked to practice clear comprehension. And when the teacher, in this case the Buddha, knows that this particular monk is well trained on this clear comprehension, he might tells another thing to be practiced. That is called overcoming the mental hindrances. Now, your training has given you a lot. First, you discipline your training principle, then you practice Indriya Sangvara, then you practice the Dharma to eat well, to eat for the purpose, then you practice not to sleep during the daytime, during the important times, and then the Buddha asks you to practice clear comprehension. With these practices, you are well trained in Sila section. Samma, the Silakhanda is being well absorbed by you. So you are qualified to do something about that now, because your mind is now well trained, well disciplined, so that Buddha is giving you a kind of meditative object for you to meditate in a silent place. The idea is to overcome hindrances. We all know that there are 5 hindrances, 5 unwholesome state of mind that block the rising of wisdom. If wisdom is there, when these 5 things come, wisdom is going to weaken. So sensual pleasures, kamachand, ill will and anger, vyapad, and then sloth and torpor, sleepiness and drowsiness of the mind and body, and then restlessness and worry, and doubt, skeptical doubt. These are the killing thoughts of all of us. In other words, if you have one of them, the other 4 comes. So your sanity, your serenity is gone, because they are representative of unwholesomeness. So you take a meditation subject, silent, you practice, you focus the meditation subject, and you train your mind to be away from these 5 hindrances. So as a result, you focuses actually, it means you practice mindfulness. Simply I would say, because time is running very fast, so the sutta tells, having overcome the 5 hindrances, you practice four satipatthanas: kayanupassana, vedananupassana, chittanupassana, and dhammanupassana. In this term, we say this mindfulness on the body, mindfulness on feeling, mindfulness on mind, and mindfulness on dharma, which means again the mental state, how positive and negative mental state. So basically you are mindful about every physical and mental phenomena now, because of because of that practice that you did to overcome hindrances. So there you would be able to gain jhanic experiences. Here in this discourse, uh, of course, when you enter into jhana, with that practice you let go of this world that you attach to completely, because if somebody is coming to a satipattan training and gain jhana, so you have come all the way to a very special place in the training. I would say that jhanic experience is a kind of temporary nibbanic experience, because you let go of the first layer of craving, the hindrances. So the Buddha talks about 3 jhanas here. First jhana, second jhana, and of course all jhanas are being talked, all the 4 jhanas. And having attained these jhanas over and over, not one time, not 2 times, not 3 times, but many times, so you become a master on it. Having attained jhana, which means you know how to keep your mind in peace and happiness, how to keep your mind away from disturbances, how to keep your mind in a solid, imperturbable state, right? So they are the jhanic, those who have gained jhana got that momentum to practice vipassana in a extraordinary way. And this particular monk get 3 knowledges there. The knowledge that is able to see his own past, not only one lifetime, not 10, 20, 30, 100, maybe it could be 1,000 and 1,000. So that knowledge is achieved because of the gradual practice you have. And then you get the knowledge about the other living beings' past as well. Not only you see your own past, but you also see the past of other living beings. That means he is in a position to understand the death and rebirth of all living beings related to the past. So having this is called divine eye. So having gained these 2 knowledges, now he is wise to know that if myself and all the other living beings die at one place and reborn in another place, is this the life cycle? Is this sansara? This sansara is so terrible. So what happened to us in the past is not knowing the reality of life. We let ourselves to go on this sansara, and now his mind is away from ignorance into a greater extent. He doesn't want to collect anything material. He doesn't want craving to be exist in his mind, because he now has seen in many ways that the reasons why myself and all living beings go sansara from one life to the other is because of ignorance and craving. Now he is now see the 4 noble truths according to the sutta. His mind is now has gone through the 4 jhanas and two knowledges. Now his mind is seeing that this is suffering, this is the reasons of suffering, and this is the cessation of suffering, and this is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. He sees he sees the reality. It is said he knows as it is, this is suffering. He knows as it is this is the rising of suffering, and so on. And therefore, he's when you see the suffering as it means you have seen the mental influxes, asavas. So in the suttas we say when you see the suffering as it is, dukkha as it is, that means you have seen the asava as it is. So you see the causes of suffering. It means you see the arising, the way this asava arises. And when you see the cessation of suffering, when you realize the cessation of suffering, you have seen the cessation of asava. And in the middle path, the noble eightfold path, you practice for knowing the doing the cessation means you do the total destruction of asavas. That means asavakya jnana is understood. There you destroy 3 kinds of asavas: kamasava, bhavasava, and avijjasava. The influx of sensual pleasures, the influx of existence, and the influx of ignorance. So when you did this kind of knowledge, you have that I ended the asavas, 3 kinds of asavas, and realize that hereafter there is no birth, there is nothing to be done to realize anything. Every aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path is gone through, so that I'm not going to reborn at any place hereafter. So that is called Arahanta Pala Samadhi. So now this person is called an Arahant. His mind is totally liberated from all kinds of craving. So the Buddha said that he's the one who is worthy of respect and veneration and so forth. So now the Buddha comes to the conclusion of the discourse. Venerable Achiravata, novice Achiravata, the royal elephant were to die in old age and untamed and undisciplined. So if the last part of the sutta is something summarized version. So if the royal elephant or the horses or oxen die without tame, they are not considered, they are not recognized very much. But if the elephants are tame and disciplined, and horses are tame and disciplined, and oxen are tame and disciplined, they are usable, they are respected, because they are useful animals. Likewise, those who have lived it sensual pleasures and other causes of suffering throughout their life, they die and reborn in unhappy places. But those who have understood the fallacy of sensual pleasures and ignorance and craving and so on, they destroy them with the support of the Buddha and the other Kalyana Mittas, and they are the people who never reborn. So this is the end of the sutta, Dantabhumi. I think I gave you a summarized version. It took more than 1 hour, but this is the Dantabhumi Sutta, which explain the gradual teaching of the Buddha from basic level to the Arahant level, and it is delivered by the Buddha with beautiful similes. I think it is worthy to read and remember. So that's all from me today, and we can have about 10 minutes discussion. Any friend who like to say something? We have Howard here. Do you have any questions?
No.
It's first reading,
clear.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very clear. Yeah.
All right. So I think if you read the sutta slowly, mindfully, you understand many things about the Buddha's dharma in that sutta, because in sutta studies like this, we cannot read word by word, and it's so there may be things that you do not get well. Anyhow, try to at least get the summarized version of the sutta from the internet, so then you will get many.
Bante?
Yes.
Sorry, because since there's no one, I want to. So this kind of sutra kind of gives the entire picture. Like one sutra covers everything. Anupubba, Sikka, Anupubba, Pratipada,
Yeah.
Anupubba, Kiriya, Anupubba, Pratipada, all three. I mean, it's complete sutra. Like some sutras are like have section by section, but this kind of carries through till the end, from the beginning to the end. Uh,
True.
and also the one with the simile of the mountain, person holds his hand and goes up because he didn't see, like the one up he can see everything pretty much in the inside, right? But
Yeah.
this one is okay, let's go. And so it's a kalyana mitra, metaphor for kalyana mitra.
Yeah.
Hmm.
For sure. Yes. Uh, uh, the Kalyanamita always take the other into the same level he or she is in, because the Kalyanamita has compassion and kindness.
Hmm.
Being a Kalyanamita doesn't mean that he just collects some knowledge and stay in arrogant level. When you become a Kalyanamita, you have developed Shraddha on the Buddha. You trust the Dharma very much, and you tasted it before, so that's why you are trying to give it to others to drink. So you discipline into a certain level. It doesn't mean that you don't know everything, but you have known enough. That's why you as a Kalyanamita is trying to take your friends into the same level, because you have compassion and kindness.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
you're welcome. Anyone who like to speak today?
One question.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that with making a living where, you know, you need to go out in the world, work,
Yeah.
earn money, raise a family? This is striving too, right?
Yes,
This is
that's a very interesting question. Yes, it's very hard to, if you know the Dharma, if you have read enough and associated good friends who knows all these things and discipline well, you get the support from them uh, to gather some knowledge. And how, when you associate Kalyanamitas, you come to know how to balance your life. If you do not have Kalyanamita, you should become a Kalyanamita in wholesome friend, which means this term may be new to you. Kalyanamita is the Pali word for wholesome friends. We have friends who like to go with us for drinking, dancing, various trips and so on. We have friends from various friends we have, but the wholesome friends means the someone who shows you the right path, peaceful path. The wholesome friends always understand you with your capabilities, and if there are unwholesome things in your behavior, he would tell you that this is negative for you for the long term and for the short term as well as long term. Discipline, don't do that. It is not healthy for you and others. So like that, the Kalyanamita would be telling you your wrong things, and he wants to take you to the right directions. So it is still challenge. It's a challenge, because in the world, what you see is sensual pleasure. You are encouraged to do ignorant things that creates craving, greediness for you. So you file up so many things, so many unwholesome things with this. So it's a challenge. Of course, you have to go to the job and earn money, pay the bills, do your duties, and you are responsible for many things in the society. So we have to do them in a righteous way. Don't harm anyone or anything in the nature when you do your jobs, when you do your duties. Just have compassion in mind. Be mindful that you are not a mortal living being. You are going to die someday. This quality of life exists only for a short period of time, right? So having realized all these things with the support of Kalyanamita, with your right thinking, because you have also right thinking. You can develop that right thinking by way of right thinking, right? So that you have a knowledge that I should be following this type of lifestyle that never harms anyone. So that life, there you don't violate common law as well as ethical law. That means you are disciplined. I have seen many lay people who practice Dhamma in a marvelous way, in a beautiful way. I think if they may not be able to attain at least a stage of enlightenment in this life, they definitely do it within a couple of lifetime, because their level of morality is very strong, and they could not be changed by anybody with their views, because they have grounded well on the Noble Eightfold Path. Right. So yeah, it's a challenge, but we have to face the challenge, right? Life is it's a challenge. In this life, suppose you have everything around you. You have enough money given by parents or by the generations you lived with, and now you have houses. Still life is a challenge, because aging is a challenge, sickness, being sick, and so many other challenges are there you have to face. So better for us to slowly develop that understanding in life, and then move on to practices that take you from busy nature to a very calm state of mind. Then your life goes on the smooth path where still you find difficulties, but you overcome them. Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I
Bante,
think, yes.
sorry, is there a definition for Kalyan Mitra in the sutta you found? Because
Yes, I could in Singalovada Sutta
mhm,
there is a definition, because when you find a friend, that friend should be like this and so on, and it is mostly in analysis. I could find some information and
mhm,
explain those things later on.
mhm.
One source I could remember is Singalovada Sutta,
Okay.
and also those suttas that talks about the well-being of in this life, like Vyagapajja, Parabhava, and some other discourses. Have some information about the Kalyanamitta.
Yeah. Is it Seka Bala taken as Kalyan Mitra? One who's in Sila and you encourage the others to do so. One
Yeah,
who is Sila, Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Tyagya, Prajna. So
yeah,
you abide in those and also encourage others to do so. Is the Kalyana Mitra? Can it be defined?
definitely, yes.
Mm.
Those Panchabala, if one practices these Panchabala, and if he at the same time encourage others, Sega is definitely a Kalyanamitta. Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
yes. Actually, the Buddha is Kalyanamitta to us,
Mhm.
because he tells us to do this and not to do this. And all the Arahants, all the other enlightened beings, though we never met them, they are Kalyanamitas for us.
Mm.
And in our day-to-day life, we have particular Kalyan Mittas who wish our well-being in this life, as well as with regard to the attainment to enlighten. So there are Kalyanamitas who actually show us the path into this much, and there are Kalyanamitas who showed us the path to the supreme goal. So yeah, we can consider all the noble disciples as Kalyanamita. Look at Venerable Ananda.
Mm.
Without him, look at Venerable Mahakassapa. If they were if they were not in the sasana and did this thing for us, we would be thinking something else today. So they showed their kalyana mitra to us, even though they did not know us,
Mhm.
right?
Thank you.
So yeah, for sure. Those who practice panchabala show the way to panchabala for others, and he is a kalyana mitra, definitely.
Thank you. You have a question?
Yeah, I just have to say something. Thank you for explaining this sutta so well, Bante, because this sutta really outlines both the importance of samatha and vipassana, because
Yeah.
in a continuous kind of way how to do it, and especially like the importance, like how you get to the fourth jhana, and in that equanimous state to go into vipassana as a contemplation. You explained it very beautifully. Thank you so much, Bante.
You're welcome for the point. Yes, this sutta is a very good example to show
Yes.
that first the particular monk or nun or layperson could be good in samatha practices, because you would be able to find that peace and happiness first, then only you are moved forward to do the very difficult test called vipassana,
Is it
right?
the thing, the two jnanas, Pube Nivasathinanya and Asavak, Asavak is important, but the other two, are they essential, or they are not, like knowing the past births, and it is said here as like a formula, but is it
Yeah, I think the Buddha wanted to explain the full gradual training
Mhm.
uh, here in the sutta. Yeah. So, you know, as you know, some monks may not be having that kind
the
of
psychic powers? Yes.
knowledges, but
Mm-hmm.
they could be arhants. So the Buddha wanted to explain the
Full thing,
very
yes.
skillful arhants who have gone through each level of jhana and also knowledges. And to me, those who have gained these knowledges may not be able to see everything, I guess,
Mm.
because only the Buddha could do that.
Mm.
Uh, I think their knowledge, when we translate them, it's called Pubbeni Nivasanusati Jnana. Jnana. The very word in Pali the Buddha uses jnana. It's ability to see,
Mm.
ability to get through into each aspect of previous life of oneself and others, and it comes to them even though they develop it. They When they want to see it, they have to focus on
Mm.
for example, suppose there's a person called Peter, and so suppose I have the Pubbeniwa Chatupapata Jnana Dibbachakku. So I should focus that particular person, present figure, and then through concentration, I in mind go to each and every aspect of his previous life. So that is happen. That what happened over there. So you better have that uh, concentrate. Of course, this knowledge is being achieved by some people even before the Buddha.
Mm.
Then it is not called Chatupapatijana, but some sort of abilities developed prior to the Buddha, who could read others' mind, who could see something beyond human experiences. So anyway, all these people before the Buddha and now the Buddha himself and other disciples who have this skill did something like this. They clear and they clear their mind. Of course, those who have attained to arahantship, their mind is always clear. So anyway, they take their mind into a kind of supreme samadhi level quickly within a second, and then from there they take the present object, to be able to go through to the past and future. That's how it happens. From external observation, we cannot see how that it takes too long to do. They quickly do it.
So it is a purely jhana, based on a jhana, not from the inside, right? The
Yeah,
inside is
not
the
from the inside.
asavakya.
Jhana.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
should have developed jhanic experiences to
Mm.
do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. And I see two chatting here is Prince Jayasen and King Ajat, same person. No, two different. Two different person and two different person. Yeah, Vimal said two different person. Both are son of the King Bimbisar. Yes, the answer is given there. Thank you very much for that as well. So thank you for your participation. Because of your participation, I too engage with reading suttas in this in for this class, and I have read them before, but it is very good for me to go through again and the suttas again and again and clear the knowledge. And merits goes to you for this help, and your participation silently encourage the others in the group for their dhamma practices, so that everyone is everyone gains some merits. And I think the skillfulness called kusala you develop in this kind of discussion is huge, and I wish may this kusala practice, which means the dharma practice, should go forward, and may you find that peace, that happiness that never change. And finally you may you be a good disciples of the Supreme Buddha. May you attain nirvana. With this wholesome thought in mind, we end today's sutta discussion. Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu.